Amphibians are possibly the strangest group of creatures alive today, and they are an extremely loved group of animals. This is why it's tragic that amphibian numbers are declining worldwide, and there are quite a few factors behind this. Millions are lost to infections and diseases, and millions of amphibian species worldwide are affected by habitat loss, habitat fragmentation, introduced species, and pollution. Amphibians are one of the worst affected group of animals when it comes to pollution, and this is mostly because they breathe through their skin and absorb all of the pollutants. It's important that we celebrate the amphibians that are still with us, and that's why today I will be going through some of the largest frogs in the world. To start off with, we can head to Central and South America, as we have the Smoky jungle frog. This species can be found in quite a few Central and South American countries, and it can be found in a wide range of habitats. It prefers forests, swamps, and freshwater marshes, but it's also regularly found in aquaculture ponds. This species has some very striking markings, and on some individuals these markings almost look tiger-like. This helps to keep them hidden in leaf litter, and it's enough to hide them from some predators. If they are caught by a predator, they do have a few interesting defensive mechanisms, as they emit a high-pitched scream, and they will inflate themselves while excreting a toxic solution. This species is also a very impressive predator in its own right, as it can reach a maximum length of around 18 centimeters, and it has a maximum weight of around 500 grams. This size allows it to feed on many forest creatures, and it puts them at number 8 on this list. For our next species, we can head north to North America, as we have the American bullfrog. This large frog is native to eastern North America, but it has been introduced into many other countries around the world. It's an invasive species in South America, Europe, and Asia, and it can cause serious damage as it is an impressive predator. They'll feed on pretty much anything that they can fit into their mouths, and they're also known for being a very aggressive species. This means that they can bully other amphibians, and even completely eradicate them from certain ecosystems. These bullfrogs are very sexually dimorphic, with males being smaller than females and having yellow throats. The American bullfrog is also known for having very large, bulky tadpoles, and these tadpoles turn into colossal frogs. This species can reach a maximum length of around 20 centimeters, and they can reach a maximum weight of around 800 grams. This size means that they are the largest true frogs in the US, but they're only fit for number 7 on this list. For our next species, we can head over to the Caribbean islands of Dominica and Montserrat, as we have the mountain chicken. Now, I have featured the mountain chicken in a few videos before, and this is because of its ridiculous common name. There's a few theories as to how it got this common name, but it is eaten as a local delicacy, and it's said that it tastes like chicken. It's often found in mountainous areas of these two islands, and this is how it's possibly got the name of mountain chicken. Unfortunately, this frog's tastiness has led to its downfall, as today it's listed as critically endangered. They were relentlessly hunted for their meat for decades, but eventually a ban was put in place. It's estimated that their population fell by 80% between 1995 and 2004, and today there are only a few hundred left in the wild. This species has also been threatened by habitat loss and disease, but thankfully there is a healthy captive breeding population. If this species is allowed to reach its full size in the wild, it truly is a giant, as it can measure up to 22 centimeters long and has a maximum weight of around a kilogram. Hopefully in the future more can be done to save this frog, and it slots in at number 6. For our next species, we will be heading over to Southeast Asia, as we have the giant Asian river frog. This species is the largest frog in all of Asia, and it's mostly found in gravelled streams. This species is not only very large, but it's also very strange, as their courtship behaviour is different from that of most other frogs. Instead of the males calling for the females actually call for the males, and the male frogs completely lack a vocal sac. This species is a little bit longer than the mountain chicken with a maximum length of around 26 centimeters, but it reaches the same maximum weight of around a kilogram. So even though this frog is the largest frog in Asia, it's only fit for number 5 on this list. For our next species, we can head over to Africa, as we have the African bullfrog. This species can be found over large areas of southern Africa, and just like the American bullfrog, it's known for being very aggressive. It's a voracious carnivore and it will feed on pretty much anything it can fit in its mouth. They'll feed on invertebrates, rodents, reptiles and small birds, and they're even known to tackle venomous snakes. During the mating season, they're known for their spectacular fights, and these fights can result in injury or even death. The African bullfrog dwarfs the American bullfrog, as they can reach a maximum length of around 24.5 centimeters, and they can weigh in at 1.4 kilograms. At this size, they can produce quite a painful bite, but they're still not the largest frog in Africa, and they're only fit for number 4 on this list. For our next species, we will be heading over to Peru, as we have the Lake Junin giant frog. This species of frog is completely aquatic, and it's endemic to a few lakes in Peru. Lake Junin is the most famous of these lakes, and the lakes that it's found in are at an extremely high altitude. It prefers to live in areas with lots of aquatic vegetation, as this gives them a lot of protection from predators. Unfortunately, one of their main predators are humans, as this is another species that's commonly eaten. They are currently listed as endangered, as they're also affected by introduced predators such as trout, and pollution from mining and agriculture. It really is a shame that this species is so threatened today, as it is a very unique species and it's also a very large one, as it can reach a maximum length of around 30 centimeters, and it can weigh in at 2 kilograms. Sizes such as these are very rare nowadays, but it does put them at number 3 on this list. For our next species, we can make the short trip over to Chile, as we have the Chilean helmeted bullfrog. Now this frog goes by quite a few different names, and it does come in quite a few different forms. Some are a very bright green colour, and others are more of a muted brown. The Chilean helmeted bullfrog is aquatic to semi-aquatic, and it's mostly found in deep ponds and reservoirs. Unfortunately, it has a very similar story to previous frogs, as it's affected by introduced species, disease, hunting, and habitat loss. This species may be the most interesting looking frog on this list, and it's also a giant, as it can reach a maximum length of around 32 centimeters, and it has a maximum weight of around 3 kilograms. This frog is the largest frog in South America, but it's the second largest frog in the world. For our final species, we will be heading back over to Africa, as we have the Goliath frog. This species has a relatively small habitat range, and it's mostly found in Cameroon and Equatorial Guinea. It can be found in a few different habitats, but it seems to prefer areas near waterfalls. The Goliath frog mostly feeds on fish and other amphibians, but they're also known to consume some plant matter. They will hunt both on land and in the water, and water is vital for their reproduction. They can live up to 15 years in the wild, and their main predators come in the form of Nile crocodiles and Nile monitors. But unfortunately, once again, humans are one of their main predators. They are currently listed as endangered, and as they are so large, it's hard for them to hide. I really hope that more can be done to save this species, as they are iconic, and they do reach the same maximum length as the Chilean helmeted bullfrog at 32 centimeters long, but they are heavier with a maximum weight of 3.25 kilograms. The Goliath frog truly is the king of frogs, and they are of course number 1 on this list. If you want me to feature another group of animals in a video such as this, then let me know down in the comments below. But thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed. If you liked it, please leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more videos like these. But until next time, goodbye.